It is time for round 3. This time around, it is Elite 4, Marshal. He specializes in fighting types. Of all the Elite 4 battles, this is the one that severely worries me. I do not have a lot to counter fighting types except for Skarmory. So, if there's a battle that I'm going to struggle with, this is the one, and I am worried. Greetings, Marshal. Let us battle. Marshal, he just stares you down. I'm sorry, but that hairstyle creeps me out. Throw, level 48, fighting type with the Guts ability. The moves are Storm Throw, Bulldoze, Stone Edge, and Payback. All physical moves, which I can counter with Skarmory. So I think Stone Edge might not be physical. No, it has to be. I would have took more damage if that wasn't physical. So Spikes, I'm going to use that to my advantage in this battle. I have to Roost. Roost. Which takes away my flying type ability, which kind of worries me, because that's my counter to a lot of his moves. But since he's using Stone Edge, that helps. All of his Pokemon are very physical based. If you have I know that the odds you have a Skarmory on your party are 1 in a billion. Because you'd have to do a lot of trading and stuff to get it on your party, and I was just hardcore because I wanted my trademark Pokemon. But a good physical wall will help immensely against Marshal, especially something that could take a physical hit. Physical hits are your worst nightmare, because his whole team is just so physical. All of his Pokemon have no dual types. They are all fighting type only. This is kind of an interesting thing because you have to rely on fighting types only. Psychic types and flying type moves are your strongest moves. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really has an effect against fighting types. I mean, you could use a ghost type to kind of counter, because it can't deal fighting type damage, but most of his teams have stuff that can deal against Chandelure. He has Stone Edge on most of his Pokemon and Rock Slide on his main, so Chandelure isn't an option for me. Sock is next on the roster. I'm going to just keep fighting with Skarmory. Sock knows Karate Chop, Grass Knot, Stone Edge, and Retaliate. Fighting type sturdy ability. Did I mention that I love the Elite 4 music just because of that tiny little clip that you can detect from 3rd Gen Elite 4? I love that song, 3rd Generation. I know I have a couple friends, Will in particular, he just hated 3rd Generation. But 3rd Generation, I just loved that. And maybe because it was my first Pokemon game, but that's how I've been. The Spikes damage really helps counter that sturdy for me. That's kind of nice. I'm gonna go with... I'm kind of pondering what I should go with here. I'm gonna go with a mirror. Conkeldurr is a level 48 fighting type with the Sheer Force ability. Its moves are Hammer Arm, Grass Knot, Stone Edge, and Retaliate. I'm kind of relying very heavily on Leech Seed in this Elite 4, and it is making a difference, I think, because just knowing I have that defense. I would try coiling up, but I'm kind of worried in doing so. Yeah, why not? I can Coil. And Coil will give me the defense to hopefully take on his last Pokemon. This is actually a pretty decent strategy to set up, because all of his moves are, again, physical, so I can do kind of a stalling thing. I don't know if another Hammer Arm will KO me, though. Well, I guess I'm going to coil first, so I should be able to take a hit, granted he doesn't critical me. If he criticals me, then that's just hacks, and I did save, so I can always return to this battle if I end up getting creamed. Yeah, this is actually a pretty decent strategy. The coil, leech seed, spike strategy is pretty much making the Elite Four a piece of cake for me, which is very cheap. And it's kind of worrying me because I'm giving all of my experience to Amir and Skarmory, so when I get to the champion and the battle that precedes it, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Alright, I'm going to actually let him use a full restore, because I want that full restore to get wasted. Just so his last Pokemon, that's one last thing I have to worry about. Plus, with another coil or two, I should be able to wipe out his entire team with Leaf Blade. So yeah, having him use that full restore is actually just a way for me to get up an air coil. And this strategy is actually a genius strategy. I didn't really think about it. I wanted coil on Amir for that reason, because I knew the Elite Four I might not do any training for it. So that was a smart strategy on my part. Conkeldurr isn't too bad. Granted, if you were playing this game regularly and fighting wild Pokemon, your levels would probably be higher and he would be probably easier. Marshal is his last Pokemon. It's a fighting type level 50 and his main Pokemon. It has the inner focus ability, so Stomp would be worthless. Jump Kick, U-Turn, Rock Slide, Retaliates. A very powerful moveset. Granted, I have Spikes damage on it and 5 or 6 coils up. Not much it can do against me. So that is the Elite Four Marshal. I was worried about him, but he actually wasn't too bad. That makes me happy. I was very worried about him. Well done. With him out of the way, we can return, and there is one last battle to be fought. As usual, if you aren't worried about dying on the Elite Four, you can save and heal up your party. I actually didn't lose any Pokemon in that, and I barely lost any health. So I'm in good shape.